Hi everybody, Dan Illman, Matt Bernier, the DRFBets race of the day for Sunday, July the 8th, race number 9 at beautiful Belmont Park. It's the Grade 3 Victory Ride Stakes, and you can bet it with your new DRFBets account. Sign up, get $100 in free cash. Learn more at drf.com/bet. This is a really nice betting race for 3-year-old fillies going 6.5 furlongs, and you can access free formulator past performances on the Race of the Day event page at drf.com. Download them, handicap along with us. We'll take the field in post position order, beginning with a 30-1 outsider, the undefeated number 1 Cosita Mia, who won a slow maiden race for Tommy Albertrani.
Yeah, which is kind of a minor miracle in and of itself, because Albertrani never wins first out, but she was clearly a poorly kept secret because she went off as the favorite at odds 7-5. I think she's okay, but the problem is she's facing just a world different animal that she's been accustomed to in that one lifetime start.
Gotta think they're going to be going faster early. They went 47 into the half in that race. Cosita Mia sprinted on home. She's going to have to run faster, but she's well bred and obviously has a lot of upside potential. Fellow 30-1 shot is next door, the number 2 DJs Favored, who was also cross-entered at Laurel on Saturday afternoon. This one's won 2 in a row for Linda Rice in Maryland. Blinkers are coming off. Nice to see the versatile running style. I think she's getting better. She's going to have to continue to improve on the Beyer scale to beat some of the top dogs in this race.
Agreed. It's nice that she's shown that she can win outright on the lead and sit just off of it. The blinkers come off. I'd imagine that means that she's going to take back a little bit here, especially with the speed drawn to the inside and her uncoupled stablemate having speed. Having said that, I don't think she's good enough to win a race like this. Fascinating
runner in this race is the number 3 Separation of Powers, who is one of the better juvenile fillies in all of 2017. Winner of the Grade 1 Frisette. Thought she got her goose cooked chasing a hot pace, going 2 turns for the first time in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. She got cooked in the Grade 1 spin away on a vicious pace 3 starts back, so she has excuses for her 2 losses. Her sprint and 1-turn races are very good, but we do have to deal with a layoff.
Long layoff. And you know what? The other thing you got to factor that in with, you're facing a really, really salty group here going a shorter distance. Now, maybe she's wanted shorter all along, and 2 turns isn't going to be to her liking, but I know she did good things as a 2-year-old. I was never enamored by her. I never thought she was just the world beater that a lot of people build her to be. And she went off at 5-1 in the Breeders' Cup. And I didn't think she ran poorly in that race. But at the same time, to me, she's just the kind of horse that I need to at least see one to see what we're going to get off this long layoff.
The Timeform U.S. pace projector in this big field is expecting a fast pace up front, and one of the pace setters is the undefeated Sauer, like DJ's Favorite, trained by Linda Rice. This filly has done absolutely nothing wrong in her last 3 races, and it was nice to see her take pressure last time out in the Jersey Girl and still emerge victorious, and it was nice to see her run a fast race.
I got to be honest, I was really impressed with that Jersey Girl. The fact that she sat as comfortably as she did. She broke like a shot, but then she relaxed nice and kind. Irad rode her with the utmost confidence, and she took a little bit of heat from the outside, but when he told her to go, she sprinted away really impressively. I know that field might be a little bit less than what she'll face here, and this is going to really be the acid test, but I love the pedigree. I think there's a lot in there. Going even farther back on the dam side, you've got a horse like Archipango, who ended up running 2nd in the Arlington Million. And the dam was a half to cease, who wanted to run all day. He won the Maxim Gold Cup. I think this horse is really, really interesting if she can get away with a relatively decent sort of pace early on, as opposed to that red bar that Timeform has.
Not only does the red bar concern me, but Mia Mischief, the 5, is a very fast horse, and she draws right outside of Sauer. Mia Mischief, interestingly enough, 7 lifetime starts, has never gone off at a price longer than 9-5. She is hammered in every one of her races. We loved what she did at Oaklawn 2 starts back in that Purple Mountain Stakes, where she sat for the first time in her career and then blew by those overmatched horses. We thought she was a lock in the Grade 2 8 Bells, and the way the racetrack came up, you know, it kind of helped her out a little bit. Speed was holding really well that day.
Yeah, it certainly was, but I have to be honest with you. I think the fact that you had a horse like Talk Vuv to Me come back and sort of flatter that form, she came back and earned a 95 running in the Acorn, I believe, a 1-turn mile of Grade 1. I kind of feel like Mia Mischief, you're right, she may have had the track in her favor, but she's shown enough throughout her career already. She has 3 90-plus Beyer speed figures in 7 lifetime starts, never been out of the exacta in 7 lifetime. I think the real reason, if you want to take a shot against her, it's probably because of the price. It's not because you don't think that she has the credentials.
She has been away for over 2 months, but fans of Steve Asmussen, they're not worried about that at all, as we see from this formulator fact on Mia Mischief. Over the past 5 years, with last out winning 3-year-olds going off a 2 to 4 month layoff in dirt sprints, 33% winners, a $4 ROI, she'll be prominent when the field turns into the stretch. If they go fast early, the 6 Dixie Serenade I don't think is the worst long shot in the world. Last time out against Pennsylvania breds, she rallied to finish 3rd. There really wasn't a lot of pace going on if you believe the blue color coding in the Timeform US pace fractions that day. It's her 3rd start of the form cycle. She's experienced with 10 starts on her resume. Maybe she could run late and grab a piece at a big price.
Yeah, and the rating that she earned that day from a time form standpoint, that's actually not that far off from some of the better figures earned in this race. I agree with you. If all of a sudden things really heat up on the front end and it turns into a closer's race, she continues to take steps forward. It wouldn't be impossible to see her jump up into the low 90 buyer speed figure range, and at that point, maybe she can get a piece.
The 2-race blinker experiment for Take Charge Paula is over. It didn't work. Once was the Kentucky Oaks. I won't blame the blinkers for that. She was on a very hot pace against much better horses at a distance that's too far for her. Last time out in the Jersey Girl, though, she just couldn't make up any ground on Sauer. She is a graded stakes winner sprinting, but I wonder if we've already seen her best after 11 starts.
Yeah, I've got to be honest with you. She's never run all that fast in any one of her starts. She's got a career best buyer of 80, and some of these other girls are much more lightly raced. They're much more mobile, I think, at this point. And the fact that Kieran is making an equipment change going into a graded stakes race, past 5 years, blinker switched to off in a graded stakes race, he's never done it. To me, he's kind of searching a little bit. I don't want any part of her.
Well, the 8 Spectator is yet to register a 90 buyer speed figure. I think it's definitely there for her. She's only raced 5 times, never off the board, and she was in against Midnight Bijou last time out and was far from embarrassed in the 2-turn Santa Anita Oaks. Midnight Bijou, of course, came back to run 3rd in the Kentucky Oaks with a 91 buyer, then destroyed her opponents in the Acorn a couple of weeks ago with a 94 buyer speed figure. She has shown the ability to rally from off the pace. She's now under the care of Michelle Nevin, a high percentage trainer in New York. So that tells me she might be a little bit of a wise guy play, but from a race flow standpoint, a lot of things working in her favor.
The way that she ran early on as a 3-year-old, it gives me all the sort of thought that this is what she wants all along. She's going to be a one-turn kind of horse. I wonder, though, if there is a little bit of an eye toward a race like the Test up at Saratoga. Not that you won't get a good effort from her on Sunday afternoon, but I do wonder if is this nothing more than a means to an end to get ready for a grade 1 up at the spot.
The 9 Divine Mischief pulled off a career best buyer 2 starts back at Churchill Downs, but I thought she might have been helped a little bit by the speed-friendly nature of the racetrack that day. She came back to run 2nd to Sauer. She has a nice tactical speed and a good attack post position. I gotta see a buyer boost, though.
Yeah, she's just going to need to run faster, plain and simple. She hasn't done a lot wrong in her career, 4 times in the exacta from 5 lifetime, but at the end of the day, she's slow on paper.
You certainly understand why Brett Calhoun and the connections of the 10 Classy Act decided to pursue races like the Kentucky Oaks. She was 2nd behind Monomoy Girl in the Rachel Alexandra. She was only beaten a length in the Fairgrounds Oaks, but it's quite possible that she's at her best as a 1-turn horse, and she turned back in distance successfully last time out at Churchill Downs. While it was only a 4-horse field and she controlled the race from the start, Timeform US has those fractions color-coded red. She went fast from start to finish, and it might be a nice prep here. Can she sit from off the pace? Because I think she's going to have to.
Well, and that's really the key to this race for her. Does she have the ability to sit a little bit? Because I don't think she's fast enough to make the front. And like you say, okay, she set those red fractions in that most recent run at Churchill, but that outside post, you'd like to be able to sit a length or 2 off of it. I'm going back to the career debut. To me, that's the most important race on her card right now because, okay, she didn't quite get the job done, but she rallied from about a length and a half, 2 lengths off of it, and she only got beat by a neck. There's a part of me that wonders with this outside draw, if you use that sort of a running style, if you try to just let those 2 horses, the speeds, the 4 and the 5 go, if you sit just off them, try to take your chance round in the far turn.
Park's maiden winner Norma's Charm completes the field. She was 47 to 1 and outran her odds last time out in the Alma North Stakes at Laurel. But if she was 47 to 1 in that race, what's she going to be on Sunday?
I would say probably pretty darn close to twice that. If she's 100 to 1, I wouldn't be shocked.
Let's take a look at our top selections for the Grade 3 Victory Ride Stakes. They're really a good race. You believe in Sauer and Linda Rice to take them, maybe wire a window and make it 4 for 4 in her very promising young career.
Yeah, it's one of those things. I understand time form has that red bar indicating that fast pace. I think it could be a little bit of a merry-go-round. I think Sauer, I just love the way that when Irad asked her to go, she kicked away really, really impressively. Mia Mischief is strictly the horse to beat. No one's going to argue with that. But I think there's a scenario where they look at Sauer and say, oh, she'll come back to us at some point. And sometimes we've seen it in the past. Sometimes those horses don't stop. To me, it's a cold 4-5 exacta, but I also think Spectator and the outside runner, the horse that we talked about a little bit, Classy Act, I'm interested in those horses underneath.
I'm going to gamble on a stalk and pounce trip for the 10 Classy Act for trainer Brett Calhoun, that 87 buyer from the last race. It's okay. It's sort of a fringe number, not anywhere near what Mia Mischief has done recently, but I think she still has a little bit of upside because she's only run a handful of times as a sprinter in her career. I'm interested in using both she and Spectator in the multiple race wagers, and underneath in single race wagers, the two speeds, Sauer and Mia Mischief. From a single race standpoint, I'm going 10, 5, 4, 8, but I'd lean probably on the 10 and 8 in multiple race wagers. Again, if you're playing this Belmont Sunday card from home, please consider DRFBets and $100 in free cash. Learn more at drf.com/bet. Approximate post time for a real nice race on Sunday. The Grade 3 Victory Ride, 5:50 Eastern. Best of luck.